Morning, 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 everyone. That's a nice welcome, isn't it? 3 mornings there. I'm having a nice brew before I get started. We're on week 5. I've had a week 5 weigh-in. And before I get to what's happened this week, when I started to do this YouTube vlog, I wanted to keep it real. It's got to be real, hasn't it? It's got to be authentic. I want to show you the whole journey. So I'm just going to show you a clip from me in the car before I stepped through those slimming world doors, and that conversation of shall I get weighed, shall I not get weighed, shall I get weighed the day after, all of that, all because I got into my head the numbers, that thing that I've spoke about before I didn't want to get into. And it wasn't the worry of if I put a pound on, it was just that back and forth in my head. So I'm just going to play that now for you, and I'll see you in a moment. Morning, everyone. I wanted to just jump on and just record this, and I'll probably include this in part of my update for this week. So it's week 5, coming up to week 5. And I just want to say that I've wrestled in my head about what the scales are going to tell me when I step on those scales today. I've got in my head that I could have put a pound on. I've got in my head that I might have stayed the same, and also that I might have just had like a £1 pound. And that is no big deal. A pound on is no big deal. I've not written things down this week. I know I've not. Weight loss, it's about being responsible. If I'm not writing down, how do I expect to have that? That's part of the process. I need to take responsibility, but I just wanted to just let you know about how intense this pound on, maintain, £1 off is. It's like massive. And I'm coming back to this point about the scales and what that number says, because I know that this is going to be really relatable. And it's craziness. It is sheer craziness, It really, really is. What can I say? So I'm trying to articulate how intense this feels. In a moment, I'm going to walk in there, I'm going to step on that scale. And the intensity isn't worrying that I've put a pound on. If I put a pound on, your water weight can change so rapidly within, I don't know, a period of an hour. It's ridiculous. And this is ridiculous. And there was a time that I've mentioned that, my first recording, that I wouldn't even record anything in the book. I wouldn't even record anything, because it was that fear of what if I can see that number going up and then down and then up again, and it's going to drive me crazy. So if any of this is relatable to you, if you're thinking that, I can't step through the doors this week because it's too much, it's too intense, I don't know if I've lost any, so I'm going to stay away this week, or maybe I'm going to weigh in at group in a couple of days. I've had that thought as well, trust me. If all of this is true to you, that honestly, the best thing to do is just to take your focus off that number on the scale. Because you know what? I've had a great week. I've had a really good week. I've done my shred twice, 2 great workouts. I've had a part run, and I've been to Alton Towers, and I've put loads of steps in. And I feel good, I can see my shape changing. The bloat in my belly's going down. I'm balancing out more of the protein, so I'm not just having carb heavy meals, which I used to have a lot of. And then I'd look down, my belly would be really bloated. I'm thinking, where's that bloat? Where's that weight from? Well, it's because I was living off carbs. One meal that I used to have back in the day was active fried chips. I'd use the oil for my sins. I'd have like fried egg and then baked beans. There was like no speed food in there. It was all on plan, but there was no speed food in there, and it was just not the way that I wanted to go this time round. So I feel healthier. I feel more alert. I've not drunk the water like I did when I was on holiday and like the hottest day of the week. So I think that's had an impact. I think that's what's had an impact. But I just wanted to get on just before I stepped on the scales and just record this, because this is the reality of it, isn't it? This is the reality of the weight loss, and these stories that we get in our heads, these things that we tell ourselves. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to face the scales, I'm going to get weighed, and I'm going to just give myself a pat on the back for walking through the door today, because my son's off from school. He's fine, he's happy in Xbox land, but yeah, I could have done a lot today to convince myself that actually I got so much more going on to commit to group today, and I have. I'm so busy. I am beyond busy, but I'm here. I'm going to stay to group, and I'm going to enjoy it, and I do enjoy it. You know what? I've just remembered what I've not bought. I've not bought a piece of fruit after winning the fruit last week. I've not bought a piece of fruit, so I have to give £1 or whatever. So yeah. So you'll see me in a moment, just telling you the results, and I hope this helps. So after all that back and forth in my head about if I maintained, if I lost weight, should I go to group, should I not be doing something else, with this time, all of that, and I maintained. And the thing about doing this yesterday and having this conversation on repeat was that my consultant said to me, she's known me a long time. I've been going to group for a long time, although I do feel that I'm more consistent this time. Absolutely, totally more consistent. She did say to me that the old Claire would never have even stepped through the doors or even stayed to group. So really pleased that happened. And just a note to myself not to focus on those numbers. I had a great week. I did have a great week. And I'll show you something else I've got as well. Another purchase this week. I bought this. So if anybody that's watching happens to understand or know how to use this, then answers on a postcard. So that's my gadget this week. And when I went to buy that, I went with my son and my mum, and we had some noodles. Went to a noodle bar, and I ate wisely. I didn't go crazy with the food. Went to Alton Towers this week, which is wonderful, because the food there, they do this pizza restaurant that do this great salad. So I decided, knowing that I was going to go to Alton Towers, I was going to have half a plate of salad and then 2 slices of pizza on each plate. And that's exactly what I did. I had 2 plates. I had 4 slices of pizza, but the pizza slices were like that. There wasn't like the big slices that you would get at Pizza Hut. And I've maintained, and I've had a good week. The shreds that I've done. In fact, what I'm going to do, for anybody that's interested in the gym, especially somebody like myself that's I'm with curves, that's interested about looking or following that journey, then I will post some of the videos that my PT has taken of me. That's going to be interesting to post. But now I've had 2 great shred sessions, and I feel that my head's in a great place. I did part run, and it felt so much hotter this week than it did last week, but it wasn't. It just how it gets you from week to week, and it's that consistent thing about just showing up and just doing it. And I said to my friends, it isn't about getting the time in or anything like that. So I ran the park run, and I got the ticket, but I didn't give my code to scan in. So I don't want to get into that numbers game. I don't want to get into it, but I loved it, really enjoyed it. It just felt brilliant to be out, and where I ran in Clumber Park, a local park, it was beautiful. So I've really enjoyed my meals, and one of the subscribers has asked me to post the foods that I eat. So what I did this morning was I took a little video of me making apple pancakes. And it's quite tricky when you're holding your phone trying to video this and then cooking using a pan making pancakes. So it's there, if you want to watch it, I will post it up there. No judgment, please, because it's not seamless. Yes, it's not seamless, but those pancakes tasted wonderful. So I do that. I use a whole apple, and then I put cinnamon in there, oats, milk. It's really, really nice. And I used to post a lot on my Instagram, and I will get into that. And it might just be like once a week, I'll just post the foods I've eaten. So I've taken them on my camera. I've taken them, but I've got 2 phones. I've got my works phone and I've got my personal phone, and I sometimes get them all, sometimes end up being on both. So what I'm going to do is set the intention of posting on a Friday. I've said it now, haven't I? the foods that I've eaten in the week. So my Instagram account is slimmingstories_podcast. But I've had some great foods. And now I've got this all singing or dancing, easy fry, TFL XXL, then it'll be even better. And that was a great bargain. It should have been about £200, and it's reduced to, it was on offer for £69.99. And then if you spent over 150, then you had another 15% off. So it was like £58 something. So I'm really looking forward to that. I know a lot of people have bought them. You can do like whole chickens in it. Loads of stuff in there, and it looks just easy. It looks easy. So I'm hoping that's going to help me. So I had a maintain this week. So there's a book, and there's the maintain. So there we are, look. After all that, just crazy, absolutely crazy. So I've got another busy week ahead. I don't think there'll ever be a week, I don't say that. I've got another busy week ahead. What I didn't do last week, and I don't know if I went to like this mystical place, I had no idea what happened there, but I decided that I wasn't going to track. That's what I decided. It didn't even feel like an intentional, I'm not going to track, but I just didn't write anything down all week. Why do we do this? But that's what, I didn't do any tracking. And for the longest time, I've been asking people, which journals do you use? Which tracking devices do you use? To be fair, I've not found one that I think, well, that seems to work for me. However, Debbie from Debbie's World has given me details of a lady that does the journal. So I'm going to try hers out for now. I might even create my own, to be fair, but we'll try that for now. And then I was watching a YouTube lady that I follow on her journey, Shoni Doyle. I'm sure I pronounced that incorrect. And at the end of her video, she mentioned me and she gave me a shout out. So I'm going to give her one back. So if you'd like to follow Shoni, so it must be Shoni, surely it must be Shoni. Don't start, Claire. So if you'd like to follow Shoni Doyle, I'm going to put a link to her YouTube channel below in the bio. She's a mum of 4 children, and at the moment she's away with her husband, just getting some personal time with her husband, just catching up and reconnecting, which is wonderful. And she posts lots of details about the food, about her videos. Actually are really wonderful. She's all over the place. She's like in the kitchen. She does like a vlog going out and about. It's really lovely video work what she does, really creative, but she's a wonderful human being, and I really want to support her. She started, I think she's a week in front of me. I think it's just nice to have somebody that's started a similar time where you can just track one another, can't you? It's just that added encouragement. So that's Shoni. There's also Debbie from Debbie's World. So I believe that a lot of people that follow Debbie are now following me. So Debbie has lost, I can't even say how much weight she's lost. She's lost a lot of weight. She did put weight back on over COVID. And with Debbie, what I'm actually doing with Debbie, she's been a podcast guest before, and what I'm actually helping Debbie with is hypnosis. So I help Debbie with food cravings for chocolate biscuits and cake and all of those things. However, I did say to Debbie that we need to do the deeper work, because if you've got cravings, anything that you crave, any food that you crave, it's got nothing to do with the food. Mic drop. Everyone's like shouting at me now down the screen. Of course it has, and it's not got anything to do with the food. It's the emotion that you're trying to feed. The mind thinks that you love that cake, you love that sweet craving, because your mind remembers all those times when those foods gave you joy, and often with sweet taste, it's to do with those birthday parties, those Christmas celebrations, those happy times. So what I'm helping Debbie with is the deeper work. So I'm helping Debbie with the emotional release technique. So Debbie's gone through a lot of trauma in her life, from being young, lots of trauma, and she's spoken about this openly on her channel too. So that's what I'm helping Debbie with an hypnosis and hypnotherapy, and it's been a joy to help her. And Debbie posts lots about food. I think Debbie's quite good on recipes. She goes through recipes that she's either found or foods that she's discovered in different supermarkets. She's got a really big following, so I'd love you to go and support Debbie if you're new to Debbie's world. Yes, so my intention for this week is to write things down and write some more. So that's what I'm going to do. So tonight I'm doing a shred. That's happening this evening, and I'm really looking forward to that. I just feel strong in my arms now. Not, I'm not like rippling with muscles, but picking weights up, testing my body, pushing my body, doing planks and all of those things, and lifting weights that I would never have thought I'd been able to lift. It's that massive confidence boost. And when you connect to that feeling of muscle in your body, don't get me wrong, I'm not like a bodybuilder or anything, but when you feel that strength in your body, it's a wonderful feeling. So I'm doing that this evening, and then I'm doing hot pod yoga. Really looking forward to that. I've not tried it before, and I believe it's going to be around 37 degrees in that room. But it's supposed to be wonderful. They're supposed to use like different smells and aromas. So there's like an aromatherapy aspect to it as well. I've never had the experience, but I know that people on the podcast I've interviewed have spoken about it. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm going to finish my coffee. Whatever you're doing, have a great day, and let me know how you've been. How has your week been? What's been testing you? And if you're happy to be vulnerable, just share what it's been like, those ups, those downs, and everything in between, because we need to know that this is a safe space, and it's okay if we have those weeks that maybe it's not gone to plan. And I think for me, this journey is all about taking responsibility. It's taking responsibility. What's the point? What's the point in joining the slimming world with those intentions to lose weight, with a plan, and then not writing down the food I'm eating so I can't track it? That is literally pointless. That isn't following plan. That's just me doing my own spin on slimming world. And if I want to lose the weight and I want that commitment to my health, then this is what I need to do, and this is what I'm going to do. So I've got a client very shortly in 45 minutes, and in between that time I will order this journal. I'm going to commit to it. I'm going to order that journal, and then I'm going to track, and I'm going to track some more. So have a great week ahead, whatever you're doing. Hope you're enjoying the misty weather at the moment outside in the UK. It's a little bit misty, a little bit cloudy. Whatever you're doing, just have a great week ahead. Thanks for tuning in. And if you've enjoyed this, then please hit subscribe. There's some links down below for my podcast. If you want some inspiration, you'll see and hear lots of great stories. In fact, that's something that I need to mention before I go. So I've started to record the podcast again, and the episode that I recorded this week was with a lady that's already been on the podcast, and it was a journey back to slimming world. She's had a little baby that she never thought she would be able to have. Had issues around fertility and getting pregnant. It's a very raw interview. She talks about experiencing miscarriage and all those emotions around that, and then realizing that she was pregnant and having given birth to a gorgeous baby Olivia. It's a beautiful interview. And rather than just record the audio and publish that on iTunes and Spotify and all those places, I've actually done a video. So recorded this. I'm going to start publishing those on my YouTube channel too, so you can see that. And if you want an inspiration, if you want to hear from somebody that's committed to the weight loss journey, Ruth was a semi-finalist for Woman of the Year. So she's been in the magazine, she's been in the Slimming World magazine, and she's done an amazing job. She really, really has. It was a joy to interview her again. So again, have a great week ahead. This is so seamless, this vlogging, so seamless. Have a great week ahead, whatever you're doing, and take care.